Do you have anything on your mind?
No, I mean, tomorrow night's meeting will be quite interesting, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
I know.
a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot. I've been wrestling all day with like, are we supposed to give parents a heads up that they should attend the meeting? What are your thoughts?
I think Michael's been sending messaging out, or has he not? I don't
Not
know.
really.
Okay.
As a parent, I don't think I've received, I mean, he does his like, thank you,
Yeah. It's Friday.
but I don't think people realize,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think
I
it's a-
struggle between like maintaining that work,
Yeah.
the
think
work
that can be hard.
personal balance of like
Yeah.
how much do they want? I don't know. I feel like people should just know what's on the,
Right, that we're going to be
Table.
discussing the budget, and it might not be as dry a
Yeah.
discussion
Yeah.
as it sometimes is.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I think it's okay for parents to share that information.
this artwork is great. Sorry.
Yes,
I just- I'm looking
Thursday
around.
night is the Winter Night of the Arts.
Great.
And Lindsay does a tremendous job with art and our kids. It's
really nice.
Visual art's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any concerns this year. Both my boys are still really happy here.
Good.
And I don't know. I feel like there's been a turn towards more positivity in the community
Yeah.
too, especially with the high school. Because, you know, for a while,
Oh, I know.
there was many years where it was like, ugh. But I feel like more and more people are, like I heard a bunch of the 7th grade parents are super happy with how things are going, you know.
That's so good to
I've
hear.
heard a lot of people, which is why, like, with the potential cuts, I'm like, oh, right when I feel like
Like we're on a good
everything's hitting
trajectory.
their
Yeah.
stride, and, you know, so that makes me, as a parent, I mean, as an employee, you know, that's one thing, but as a parent, too, I'm like, there's just so much good happening right now. To
And you have
any
a
of
first
that-
grader, too.
I do. Second
Second grader.
Yep.
Okay, time flies.
Yeah, I know, it's interesting. It's, as a parent, it's like I'm really happy with how things are going in the district. You know, overall, like, even Antonio, like, he's made such great connections with the faculty here.
Yeah.
Like, Mateo makes connections with everybody because it's just his personality to be like, but you know, for many years, I think Antonio was just, he didn't, and now, like, you know, Miss Shaner, Mr. Dussault has become
So good.
like someone that he really, you know, values him. And there was something he said the other day, and then he's like, oh, well, that's Mr. Dussault. I bet he could help me, you know, like, so I feel like
Yeah, that's great.
there's a lot of positivity, and, you know, even my most socially awkward child has found his, like, people
Yeah, and
really
you want that
to,
for
like,
him.
support him and advocate for him, and he feels good going to them, so
It's fabulous to hear.
I don't know.
I know we've been working a lot on behavior this year.
How's it going?
It's going well. We're turning around discipline referrals in about 48 hours at the most.
Oh, that's good.
We have 3 tiers of what we're doing. So we have sort of restorative practices.
Yep.
We have, so yeah, it's really 4 community service-based stuff.
Yep.
So, you know, if you remember 2.5, 3 years ago, we faced so much vandalism.
Yes.
And we've really dialed in our research into who's doing what and hold them accountable by having them fix it.
Yeah. I love that.
And then for some infractions, there's just like old school detention. You can
Yeah.
do your homework, but no phone or computer.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm a fan of
unpleasant.
I'm a fan.
It's unpleasant, but they seem to respond. And then we still have with our social emotional learning coordinator an opportunity for kids to do SEL lessons if we really believe there's like something they need to learn. We have someone who can overtly teach that.
I love that.
So I think we're seeing the benefits of that.
Good. I like some of the old school, like, detention.
Sometimes it just
Thanks.
works. I mean, for I think like 85% of our kids, the detention is still something that they're like, oh, yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah. I love it.
Yep.
I know.
So So that's been a real area of focus, so that we're protecting the classroom environment so that people are getting what they need.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We're still struggling with that at the elementary school.
Well, I think it's so hard. I mean, that's one of the things when we talk about budget, it's like, I know what's coming.
Yes.
And I know we need those behavior supports.
Yeah, you're good
And
for
we
like
need
4,
those
5, 6.
SEL report.
But those younger, yeah.
Well,
they're-
so things can improve.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll grow and all of that. But I think just having our expectations, having our systems, and being ready
Yeah.
is what we really
Yeah.
have been working on.
Hopefully they take, I think it's gotten better this year.
Yep.
Some new behavioral staff in that have a different philosophy. And I think that is helping. So there is an improvement. It's
That's awesome.
Still, we just have some that, I feel like we have a lot of just heavy hitter, high needs.
Yep.
Maybe shouldn't be in a traditional classroom setting. It's, you know,
And there aren't that many other settings.
no.
Nope.
But yeah, so no, I mean, I'm pretty happy overall. I don't have any concerns as far as the high school or middle school goes, which is nice to say, because had you asked me 8 years ago, I was really nervous about sending my kid over here, so it feels really good to just, I still think you guys don't get enough credit for all the stuff that you
Well,
offer,
thank you.
quite frankly.
We work hard to offer what we offer.
Yeah, but no, I think, yeah. Yeah, I know. I finally remember, this year, I was like, I gotta go. I was like, I have a feeling.
Is Antonio doing basketball? I mean, I don't
He is
want
not.
Our media. I think you told me that last time that he
No,
decided
he decided he's taken 2 AP classes, AP Lit and AP US History, and he really wants to do well in them.
Yep.
And he does robotics, which he also really loves. And he kind of looked at the lineup and was like, I'm not going to be a starter.
Yeah.
I might not get much playing time. He said, I am not as aggressive as Coach Milling likes kids to be. And he was like, so if I look at how I want to use my time, I could go to practice every night just to probably sit on the bench most of the game
Yeah.
and get in a few minutes. Or I could use that time to study and work on my AP classes, which
Yep.
give me a lot of work, and then I can excel in those and
So
have the
mature.
time. And when he said that, because at first I was like, no, you have to play, like, I don't know. It's just, he's
just
always
part
played
of, like,
basketball, and I wasn't.
Yeah. Winter routines.
But then when he
yeah.
laid it out like that, I was like, oh my God. And he's like, there's a lot of scholarship money in robotics.
Yeah, there
a
is.
ton.
Yeah.
And he's like, the reality is I'm not getting any basketball scholarships. And so he was like, I want to put my energy into being successful in the things that are important to me. And while I like basketball, it's not a passion like baseball is. And so, yeah, so he's not doing it. He is taking private baseball lessons every week. His strike zone instructor left the strike zone, and
Okay.
so now we're paying him. He comes to Randolph every Saturday to Modio
Oh, cool.
to work with Antonio and Quinlan and Jackson Scott, who are at White River, but they all
Yeah.
were coached by him up there. All his parents were like, we'll pay you to
Oh, that's cool.
come down here. So he's still doing some sports, but he just really has his eye on the prize with colleges. Like, he sees his path and he just wants to get.
That's exciting.
And I thought, he woke me up in the middle of the night the other night. He had woken up and checked his email, and I guess he had scored the highest on the AP Lit test exam that had been given, and Mr. Dussault had emailed him to let him know that he had scored the highest out of everyone in the class. And that's an area that Antonio has struggled with.
Right. It's not science.
Yeah. And he woke me up in the middle of the night, like shoving the phone in my face, and was like, look.
That's awesome.
And I was like, oh, what? And he told me, and so I can't. I mean,
It's exciting.
yeah, it's just nice to see their passion and see. We're going to go in the spring and tour colleges.
Are you going on the RPI trip with Mr. Moynihan, or is that just seniors? I thought he said Or
don't know
some
what that
trip.
is.
Okay, all right. He might just be taking 12th graders.
Yeah, Antonio wants to go to Boston, Northeastern, and Boston University. And then Washington, D.C. He wants to look at American University and George Washington. And and then New York, he said he'd look at NYU because that's where Marcelo's family, a bunch of them live, is in
New York.
Yeah, and he thought that would be nice because then on weekends he could go to Papi and Grandma's and,
Oh, that would be fun.
or he's like, or if I get sick, Grandma will bring me, so he's trying to, but I was also
nice.
like, Washington isn't that far from New York. You could take the train there on weekends and.
Yeah.
So.
That's exciting. What an adventure.
I know. I don't know. It's just nice to see him confident.
Yeah.
Which I contribute a lot.
I saw so much more confidence during soccer.
Yeah, he just is confident in who he is and where he wants to go and what he's doing. And I know, what more could you ask for, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Literally. So, yeah. So hopefully the budget, I think once the community sees what the cuts will be.
I think so too.
I think
it's hard to know, yeah. And I'm always curious, like, okay, so what is that increase? Like, if your property value is this,
yes,
what does the increase actually mean?
That's what I wanted to know.
Because if it's a couple $100s,
yes,
you can probably figure it out.
Yes.
If it's $3,000, then maybe we have to look at something different.
Yes.
Like, so, in my own town meeting, that's what I'm most curious about. So.
Yeah, Marcel and I had that conversation, and I said I'd like to know, I hope they can break it down by, this is how much it will cost you if we don't do these cuts. Because I'm willing to pay for my kids to get, and I'm more invested in it because I have kids in the system.
Right.
And all that.
Yep.
But, on our new place, our taxes are ridiculous because it's a multifamily home.
Right.
And I was like, so even another 500 or 1,000 doesn't really, it's not convenient, but is it worth it? Like, will I pay an extra 100 a month even for my kids to have access? I will, but I don't know,
Yep.
There's a lot of people in this town who don't have kids.
There's a lot of people in the state who don't have kids.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, I don't know, I always felt such an obligation in the PBL program to connect with people in the community and really show them, this is what we do and this is how our kids develop over time.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is the work we put in so that we get good results.
So I'm just hopeful everything can, I know there'll be some.
Right, because I think like our graduation rate is a high graduation rate. We're usually up around, last year we were back at 95%. During COVID, we dipped to 88%.
Yeah.
And then we were back up. And, one of the things that living in this community, and my mom was at Gifford a while ago, and she stayed overnight. She's 94.
Yeah.
And she was there, and I walked in, and someone was taking care of her, and I could hear them talking in the bathroom, and she wouldn't care that I was telling this story. And this person was just so calm and so good with her. And then they came out, and it was someone who I knew we had struggled so hard to keep in school. And I was like, it might not matter that we work so hard to keep people in school until you realize what the LNA shortage is in the world.
Yes.
And that kid you worked hard to keep in school is directly caring for someone you love.
Yeah.
And they're good at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it matters.
Yes, it does. 110%.
Yep. There are certain jobs people just don't get without diplomas or GEDs, and the GED test is hard.
Yeah, I'd heard that.
School can be hard, but also the GED test is hard.
Yeah. No, I really hope.
So I hope it goes okay, too.
I know.
It's scary.
It is a little scary.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. All righty. I think we're wrapping up.